You're about to unveil Paradigm at the Francis Crick Institute.
Paradigm is the standalone sculpture in the heart of London, so it's a really beautiful 14-metre, hopefully beautiful object. I'm very excited about it. I think it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be quite austere, quite tough. It's a very, I mean, I think, but that's what I think that's why it'll be so beautiful, because it's quite a very uncompromising, and it's but it'll be quite. It's a very industrial material. And it's 25 tons of corten and 14 meters tall. It sort of feels very precarious. It's this stack of tetroids that get bigger as they go up, and if you were to add one to the top of it, it would probably collapse. And it's this idea of progress, but also the problems of progress, and it's a, I guess it has a, while it's a confident sort of totem for the building, it's also a reminder of fallibility and how our systems and our world, everything is vulnerable. And these things, all great systems, all great trees, all great empires, all great knowledge bases at some point in history seems to collapse at one point and disappear. Or there is, and it's just a reminder of that kind of paradox between growth and collapse. It sort of there's a sort of ominous side to it, which I think is just a good one, that is one about caution as well as endeavour.
You mentioned precarious and ominous. I mean, it's 14 metres high, as you say, and it's on a 1 metre base. Yeah, I mean, it's really. I mean, you'll see it when we go down there. It's going to be. Yeah, it's audacious. Sort of. It looks like a sort of wonder of the world, I think. I mean, we haven't seen it. We've made smaller ones, but I don't think I'm gonna. I'm very, very excited. I feel very much like I'm 7 years old and it's Christmas Eve, because I'm really desperate to see this thing in place. It's just going to be, and to stand underneath it, because when you stand underneath it and look up, like you would under a tree, if you put your nose against the structure and look up, you're going to have to do some pretty extreme yoga back arch to see the tip of it, because you're basically from the middle looking out, it's going to overhang by 3 meters all the way around. So it's a sort of big overhang all the way around. How do you ensure that something like that is stable and safe? Well, as a public sculpture,
it's working very hard. All the bolts and all the steel, but it's been engineered. We've wind tested it. We've done all this sort of analysis. It's got 30-meter piles going into the ground, so the foundations are deeper than the sculpture itself, and so it's been very rigorously and very thoroughly checked again by Structural Workshop. Done a fantastic job, and Benson and Sedgwick are been incredibly accurate in the way they put it together and made it, and they're very. I think there's a real sense of pride about it, and it's a sort of piece for London, made by London, and it's everything's been done in London. So it's actually amazing that something on this scale has all been built here. It's made of weathering steel, so it's copper impregnated steel, so it rusts on the surface and then doesn't rot beyond that surface. So it's kind of it's an industrial material, structural material invented in America to make bridges and things. So it's kind of it's a really interesting, really sort of practical material that's been, I think, really perfect for this piece.
And what is it about that sort of weathered look that appeals to you?
Well, I think it really suits the sort of the industrial context of King's Cross. It'll just be a very interesting material in terms of the patina. It'll age very beautifully. It won't need cleaning, because the more sort of dirty it gets, the more it sort of affects the colours in the surface. I think it's a very deep, rich surface. I think it'll just be very beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. So this is a 4-meter version, but if you can sort of imagine, you're standing under here. The one that we're putting in King's Cross sort of starts about this height, about that size, but if you're standing underneath it, it's going to basically, this is 4 meters, so it's basically 3.5 times bigger than this. So you'll get this sort of amazing kind of journey upwards. I mean, this piece is similar to it, so it's very much a sort of enlargement of this. 3.5 times the height, but when you, obviously, it's not just the height you're changing. Yeah. So it's 3 times 3 times 3, so it's basically maybe 35 times the volume of this one. yes, it's all made of Corten steel. It's all these huge, ever-increasing triangles of Corten, 25mm thick, that are welded from this very tiny stem up to this huge form above, and each one gets incrementally bigger. But this is the first time I've seen it assembled, so it's really blowing me away, the scale of it, and I mean, it's really, it's kind of awesome. I'm so excited about it. I mean, it's, yeah, I've got real palpitations. Hi. I'm very, very, very excited. Yeah. So the piece is made in, it's really true to the original concept where there are these independent cells that bolt together. So these plates and these plates bolt together, and so they are these independent cells that like literally stack on top of each other. And this was one of the big challenges of the project, not to just make a skin around a scaffold inside, actually get this thing to be a true stack of pieces that so you could continue to add them as they go up. I'm going to climb in.
The light's a battery one.